It's the Premium Pete Show.
Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. Finally sitting down with my guy. Okay, so many things about this dude. Okay, you know he's a creator.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
An actor. An artist.
Yes.
Singer.
Oh, come on,
Mr.
man.
Steal Your Girl. You know, a model? Did I say
I've done
model?
that too. I've done that too.
Fuck,
Yeah.
how many things did you do? The one and only Mack Wilds in the
What's
building.
going on, everybody?
Oh, man.
Internets.
Listen, you know, we're talking about growing up in Staten Island.
Yeah, man.
And it's funny because a lot of people don't really know about Staten Island.
They don't. Even people from New York, they really don't fully. I don't think they fully understand Staten Island. Period. Like, it's funny. I talk to a lot of people out of New York. Period. Like, oh, what, like 5 boroughs? Oh, what borough are you from? I'm like, Staten Island. Staten Island's a borough. I thought it was Manhattan, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Nah, Staten Island. You know, we're the lost borough. Of course, I call us the island of lost toys and misfits. But you know, it's crazy over there, man.
You know what? Let's go over who came out of Staten Island. Okay, Mack Wilds.
Mack
that's
Wilds,
one.
of course, that's one. That's
a lot of Wu-Tang Clan.
The majority of the
majority.
Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah.
D and Ricky.
D and Ricky. Shout out to D and Ricky.
Shaheem
definitely came out.
Let's keep on going.
Let me see who else. I heard Christina Aguilera came from Staten Island.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard that too. There's some town.
Who else? BB Rexha came out of Staten Island.
Okay.
Shout out BB Rexha.
I mean, there's a lot of talent that came out of Staten Island for sure.
Definitely.
You know, it's just crazy to me because I was telling you that sometimes people come in town and I'll take them on a tour. Like people that I fuck with. I'm like, yo, let me take you for some pizza. Let me take you around Brooklyn. You know, the
real
city.
the real New York experience.
For sure.
Of
And
course.
I'll take them to Staten Island and show them because Staten Island is crazy. Like one thing I don't think people understand about Staten Island, one is Staten Island is very thorough.
Yes.
Okay. Some people may think like no. It's Staten Island has just like any borough.
Yeah.
Has areas that have fucking $5 million, $10 million homes.
Yep.
And then areas that are super thorough, and you got to protect your neck.
Yes.
Pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. Exactly.
If you go through any of those areas, but shouts to Staten Island. Internet. It's a little expensive to get over the bridge.
It is. But it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's definitely a chance.
You find those little gems over there, the same way you would in any other borough. But you know, it's crazy. I think because of the Verrazano and people being afraid to get on the ferry, like not fully understanding the ferry. I know people still ask me to this day, yo, you got to pay to get on the ferry. It's like, nah, it's free. You can get over there if you need to. I think a lot of people chose to stay away from it, which made kind of Staten Island very isolated in its own way. I was telling you this before, because it's so isolated, every neighborhood kind of became its own borough. Like Park Hill was more of the flashy dudes, like dudes get fly, dress up. So it felt more like Harlem and Park Hill, you know? Like Tarji Street is kind of, I guess, reminiscent of 125th in a sense.
Sure.
So there's, you know, you get that feel of it. And then Stapleton was kind of, because of the way that the projects were built, like it's kind of like once you're in the projects, it's kind of like you can't really get out. Once you're in, and it's kind of closed off. So it was more like Brooklyn. It was very like we kind of, though that our neighborhood was kind of our battleground. So a lot of people who would even try to get in, it'd be hard for you to get out. Like. Yeah, it was crazy. It was always crazy.
I say Staten Island. I'm gonna end the Staten Island talk on this and say Staten Island is Brooklyn with a cover charge. Mm-hmm. That's what it's turned into. They charge you to get the fuck in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why
you can leave for free, but they charge you to get in. Yeah.
But yo, listen. Let me tell you something. Your journey has been honestly, and you're still so young. Yeah. And has been amazing.
Thank you, man.
You know, you grew up in Staten Island. You grew up to mom and dad?
Yeah, my mom and dad were there, yeah.
And what did mom do? What did dad do?
My dad was a barber. You know, my dad cut hair. That's actually how I met like a lot of the Wu-Tang Clan members. My dad was a barber in Park Hill, and everybody used to go to him. So I used to always see like Ray, Meth,
sure.
RZA. Like I have vivid memories of them as kids, like coming into my dad's barbershop, getting a cut before they went on tour or whatever. And so my dad was a barber. my mom was just a hustler, man. She was just moving around. Like, I remember her working at a beeper shop. I remember her working, she used to do hair. One time she was working, she was a stockbroker for Smith Barney. So my mom has done a lot of stuff, like literally. Right now she works for a group home in Staten Island. So
Dope.
yeah.
Dope. Now you had you grew up with both your parents for your whole childhood?
Yes.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
and they were supportive of what you did, because how did you even, because to do modeling, singing, acting, like, did you start early? And how, if you?
I started fairly early. I think the time I officially kind of started getting serious about acting, or even attempting to get serious at acting, was I was about 13, 14 years old. Which is still young in its own right, but when you grow up very fast, that's not a
Sure.
super young age.
Sure.
So I started acting and everything at 13. I kind of started doing music, well, at least started to write music and everything around the same time. And yeah, man, it was crazy how everything kind of progressed very quickly. I started doing The Wire when I was maybe 15, 16 years old. So,
One of the greatest television shows.
Thank you, man.
And no, look, I'm a big Soprano fan. I love everything, Goodfellas, this, that.
Of course, same.
For sure. But I want to say, I feel like sometimes The Wire, I don't want to say underrated, but sometimes I feel like doesn't get mentioned enough on how good it was.
It's funny. I was just having a conversation with one of my friends about this. I remember, and I had to go back and start watching Sopranos again, because I never, when it was on, I didn't watch it at all.
Sure.
Like, when I was a kid, didn't watch it, and it was because I had a huge chip on my shoulder about the show. Like I said, I'm like 15, 16 years old, and as our show was going on, and I see how great it is, I'm reading the scripts, I'm seeing what the critics are saying, everybody's talking about how amazing this is. And then even hearing the acclaim from the streets, understanding how everybody's connecting to it. Yo, you're really talking our life. Yo, I'm Michael, or yo, I know kids like Randy, or like Dookie, or like Naaman, or like the way that you guys broke down the wiretaps. It gives us insight on the way that police think. Yeah, like, yo, this isn't a fake show. This is real. So to hear all of this from people who work in government all the way down to your neighborhood drug dealer, and then going to the award ceremonies and these after parties. I remember going to the Golden Globes party, and they put The Wire, or like the Wire actors, in a corner. Like we were like in the corner somewhere. And I remember we had to walk by this big table in the middle of the entire party. Huge, long table of this for all of the Sopranos. Like, everybody sitting around the table. Fucking James Gandolfini looking all Tony-like with all of his awards around him that he won that day. All the family members is there. And I'm just like, damn, like, I wish we could get some of that. Like, and it's not even about awards. It's just like, I wish people looked at the greatness that we have this same way. And so yeah, for a long time I had a chip on my shoulder about it, man. But I started watching it, and the shit is fucking amazing. Like, I understand why people said it, but I mean, I'm always gonna rep for The Wire. So.
Of course. I've sat down with a bunch of actors, and something that I think is truly incredible is, and walk us through. I don't know if The Wire was your first thing that you ever did.
It was one of my first big things, yeah.
But did you even know? When you like read a script, did you know what you were doing? Like, because you never read it before. When you think about that shit.
Nah, I mean, I've done like when I was in school, I did plays and stuff, so I understood the mechanics behind reading a script, like how to read a script. But doing The Wire, honestly, I didn't fully get. I wouldn't have fully gotten it the way that you guys seen on television if it wasn't for the guy who played Proposition Joe, Robert Chea. Mr. Chu didn't just play Proposition Joe. He was also like the kid, like all of the kids' coach. Like he was kind of every week that a new episode would come out, he'd sit with us. We'd read through it. We'd break down kind of what the mindsets of the characters were, and just kind of get ready for whatever we were going to shoot that week. So working with him and with his tutelage. And not even just his, like being on set with everybody and everybody actually helping you. It was nuts. You learn a lot, especially from just watching the greats at what they do. So it was pretty great.
Now, the character that you played, is that the first? You got exactly who you played, or they put you in? Did you go for any ones before that?
When I first auditioned, I auditioned for Maestro Harrell's character, Randy. And I remember them having a conversation with my management team saying he was great, like he did good. We loved him, but he's too big of a guy to play Randy. Like his stature, he can't play Randy. Like we can't see anybody like pushing, bullying him around and all of that stuff. Not no disrespect to Maestro. But they were like, let's try him for another role. Let's try him for. We have another character. His name is Michael. He doesn't have as many lines, but he's a really strong character. I was like, okay, let's try it. I didn't care either way.
Sure.
I thought it was gonna be dope to be a part of a TV show that I was actually watching with my mom like every Sunday. Like that was like a family thing. Like me, my mom, my brothers, every Sunday you would watch The Wire. The whole hood would shut down.
Sure.
Season 3, it was ridiculous. Everybody wanted to know what was going to happen to Stringer, like what was going on with the mayor. Like it was crazy. So,
damn, TV was good back then.
It was good, man.
Fuck.
It was good.
I don't even watch TV anymore, man.
We got Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's great because you could create your own content or be involved in something that, like something like that back then. You're 16 years old on The Wire, right? And I'm HBO, I'm sure, but. Now you had a management team because how much does even something like that even make? Like, is it something like, the reason why I say that for is because like Ice-T, like I've sat with him a bunch of times, good friend of mine, but he's like, I think he made like $25,000 for New Jack City, but I'm saying like, but he was like, I would have paid $25,000 to be in part of it. Now I'm not asking how much exactly you made, but I mean, the industry, you're young. How does people even know what to take?
I think at that time, it was that I was young and I didn't. Honestly, it was just like I said, just like Ice-T said, to be a part of something like that. That honestly, still to this day, I get not only recognized for, but maybe idolized for it. Like and it was literally I didn't understand the impact or how big of a deal what I was doing at the time was until later on, like until I was maybe like 21 years old. And it was and the main reason why is because we got accepted into AFI, and I was there for when they gave us the award for it, and I'm like, this is like, like we really did something. I was just happy to be out of school, throw paint on people, shoot guns and whatever. It was just like whatever, but nah, it was something amazing. So the money part didn't matter. Like, still to me, I think that was one of the things. The reasons why I work I do the things I do. I'm very the roles that I pick, I don't pick them because of any money or anything. I usually pick the roles that I want because it's like, I want to be a part of something dope. I want to shoot something dope. I want to be characters that are dope. I don't want to do any of this fake shit. I don't give a fuck about any of this. Like, the money will come. I'll even make my own characters if I have to. But at the end of the day, I want my legacy to be like everything that my name is touched to be like, he bodied that, and it was crazy.
Now, when you act, do you, because, some people, or most people listening don't act.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't mean like that, because meaning like, it's not like everybody acts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could try,
But, yeah.
But
It's a skill.
Yeah, for sure. Is it something like where it's like an out of body experience where you like fucking like channel into fucking being an actor when you're an actor? Like when you play a part to a part where you're not even playing yourself, like you're literally acting. Like, is there something, does it work like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There are definite times where I try to keep my personal feelings or bias to myself and let the character himself shine. The way that and every actor kind of has his own way of getting into character or just building the character or whatever. But for me, I have to find the common ground between me and the character so that my mind, like whatever he's doing, it could be something as small as the fruit that he eats to him maybe having to kill somebody. I have to find a common ground between me and this character that would make me as Tristan, as Mack Wilds, understand why this character is doing what he's doing. And once I can understand that, the lines get blurred and I can become the person,
Sure. Yeah, I actually forgot that your fucking name was Tristan, man. My son's name is Tristan. That's why you're a good fella.
Yeah,
we named my son,
man.
I mean, you older than him, so he named it after you, but not like that, okay? I'll be calling you Pappy. You know what I mean? I'm the Pappy of that, baby. But, so Wire happens, right? You're making some money. Did you graduate from high school? Or,
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Graduated with honors. Praise God.
Really? God bless.
Yeah, man.
And did you go to college?
Nah, I didn't get a chance to.
So, because you were working.
Yeah.
You ever want to go back?
I definitely do. The funniest thing, after The Wire, I thought it was done. I thought, what can you do now? Like, what else is there to do? Like, you've done what people are considering the best television show ever. Like, I mean, if a movie comes along, cool, but like, nothing was really moving, nothing was popping, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to school. So I signed up. I signed up for school. I signed up for Morehouse, for Howard, NYU. And USC, and before I can get accepted, before I was able to get accepted to anything, I got a knock on my door for 2 roles. It was like 2 roles, and they were like, "Yo, you can pick which one you want. You just got to pick right." And I was like, "Okay." So one role, they were like, "Yo, it's a biopic. You're playing Lil C's in the Notorious movie." And I was like, "Damn. That'll be fucking fire." I mean, I don't look anything like him, but yo, that shit'll be crazy.
Shouts to Little C's.
Shout out to Lil C's. And then they were like, "But if you want, we got this other role. They're starting 90210 again, and we want you to be the lead character." I was like, "Damn." So I had to make a choice. I was like, "Yo, if this acting shit is what I'm gonna really do, and if I'm really gonna be a part of it, as much as I am a fan of Biggie, his legacy, Junior Mafia, Lil C's, everybody, I have to do a role that's essentially going to be on another side of the spectrum, so people don't try to box me into playing one role."
Sure.
And I was like, "Yo, what's this 90210 shit talking about?"
Take us through your first day there, like how that deal was, happened.
Okay, this is funny. So my first day was actually the same day as my audition. Like,
so you got hired on the spot?
Yo, it's the craziest. Now, mind you, when you're auditioning for a television show, there's like literally a lot of things you got to go through. Like, you go through maybe like 3-4 different auditions. Then you have to audition in front of the director and the producers. Then after the director and the producers like you, then they bring you in front of the network. Then the network has to like you. And then once the network likes you and everybody signs off, you're golden. Like, so there's so many different, like, anyway. They fly me out to LA to audition in front of the network. And this is only after the second, like this is my second audition. I didn't even have to go through all of this stuff. The first audition was literally the producers on Skype watching me on camera and literally just telling me like, listen, we really, really want you. So look, this is what we want you to do. We did the role. They were like, okay. I did it in front of the camera. They said, okay, perfect. We're going to send this to the network. We're going to get you in. Sent it to the network. Network calls the next day. They were like, fly him out. Flew me out. Flewed me out, for all the city girl fans out there.
Classic.
Brought me to the building. First off, I sat with. The whole day was crazy, man. I'm remembering all of this. They brought me into the casting director's office. Met with her, sat with her. I did the audition in front of her one more time. She's like, yeah, I want you to run it with me a few times because we're about to go in front of the producers and everything, and I want to make sure that you're good. The producers told me to make sure that you're good, so I want to make sure that you're good. So we ran over it a couple times. I walk out, and my life is very weird. Like, there's always, like, omens or like signs, and I'm always catching them. So I walk out of the office, and Jason Priestley is walking in for a complete different audition. Walking in, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? He's like, hey, how are you? I was like, it's funny, I'm actually about to go on an audition for the new 90210. I guess I'm playing the black version of you. He said, wow, that I guess it's very progressive. So fast forward, do the audition in front of the network. Now, usually when you do like a screen test, as they call it, once you do the screen test, literally they just let you go home. You go home, you sit down you go back to your actual home. You go home, like they'll probably call you in like, I don't know, sometimes maybe 3 days to a week. They call you after and just let you know if you got it. I do the audition in front of everybody. And the network the producer is like, okay, Mac, go into the lobby and we'll send the car. We'll send the car to pick you up and take you back to your hotel so you can get on your flight tomorrow. I said, okay, cool. So I'm sitting in the lobby. 10 minutes turns into 15. 15 turns into a half. Half turns into an hour. Producer comes back out. He's like, are you good? Do you need anything? I was like, nah, just waiting for the car. He's like, just wait. Everything's fine. We're gonna call, whatever, cool. I was like, all right. Hour turned into 2 hours. I'm like, what is going on? He's like, do you want anything to eat? Or I was like, I'm good. I guess I just want to go back to the hotel, chill out for a second. He's like, all right, yeah, we got you. 2 hours turned into 3 hours. And I'm like, yo, like, is the car, did somebody die? Like, what is going on? After 3 hours, everybody that was in the room comes out clapping. I'm like, what is going on? They like, congratulations, you just got the part. So what? This is...
What the fuck?
What type of... They were like, now, we need you to hurry up downstairs. There's a car waiting for you, and you're already late for your photo shoot. Wait, what just... I'm not expecting any of this now. They shoot me down to Malibu. Flying as fast as possible to Malibu to a photo shoot for the sizzle reel for 90210, and literally had to meet everybody there, play it up. It was crazy. It was nuts. It was probably the craziest role I ever gotten, and it never happens like that. So yeah, my first day was literally the day that I auditioned.
That's insane.
Nuts.
How long did you stay on 90210?
I was on 90210 for 5 years. For the whole series.
Now, did something like that? Do you get like if they ever play it again? Do you get like what do you call it? I can't even pronounce this shit.
Residuals.
Residuals. There
I
we
got
go.
the same thing for The Wire too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, they need to play that in more things then. Now, let me ask you, did you feel like that was like a step outside the box for you? Or you feel like you were a chameleon because you went from, like, say, The Wire to 90210? Because that shit is like A to Z, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely was. I just, with Dixon versus Michael, I just felt like it accentuating and exploiting just different sides of myself. I was a kid who grew up in the projects, like my real life, like
Sure.
me as Tristan Wilds. I was a kid who grew up in the projects who went to a predominantly white school. So I knew both sides. I knew Michael's plight, and I knew who Dixon was.
Sure.
So I was able to, I guess, tap into both of those people because they're caricatures of parts of my life. So it made sense.
Now, you know, you think about it. You know, young kid from Staten Island. Now you're in fucking Malibu. Photo shoots. You just did The Wire for years. You did fucking 90210 now. But think about it. Did you buy yourself anything? Like, you know, were your parents like controlling your money at that time, or like, were you able to? Like, did you celebrate? Like,
I did celebrate.
How?
I celebrated. I celebrated once we got the role, and you know, we had a couple checks in. I bought my mom a house.
Beautiful.
That was my celebration.
That's dope.
I got my mom out of Stapleton Projects. That was everything for me.
That's a real special moment, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's the crazy thing, because I think sometimes doing stuff like you're doing is even though it's actor, it's entrepreneurs type stuff, because meaning like you're taking a chance. It's not just going to a regular job and showing up and working. So the point I'm trying to make is sometimes even some parents, not all, and not in a mean way, would sometimes hope that you took the more route where it's like, you know, they hope you're okay. Like, is this thing going to work out? You know what I mean? Like, and then for you to turn around and show them. I mean, I'm sure it had to be a very happy moment for
absolutely.
her.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was nuts, man. I remember my mom crying like when I was able. It was better than any gift. I could have gotten her any, like, I have. Like, oh my God, that first Christmas was ridiculous. I just remember being the most ignorant kid probably in America at that time. Literally, Gucci for my sisters, Louis for this one, but my mom, like, some crazy, like the bezel was opal, like it was a Christian Dior watch, and she never wore it. It's not her style. Like, that's not her steez. She likes to stay in the background. She doesn't like anything flashy. None of that. Like, so to get her a house, to get her out of Stapleton, and to see her face on that, she's like, literally, that's all I need. I don't need anything.
Is mom and pop still around?
Yeah.
You still ever cool with them both?
Yeah, man.
They're still together?
On and off.
Okay.
When they want to be.
Shit. I know how that was. I was that person at one point in time.
Yeah.
Now it's just only you, or you have?
Nah, there's a bunch of siblings.
Okay.
There's a bunch of us. It's me. Me. I have a little sister. I have 2 older brothers and then 2 older sisters, and a bunch of like adopted siblings. So it was always a house full. Always.
Now, do you remember any moments, like, you know, that's one thing that I think is special for kids with growing up with 2 parents in the household. If I had to ask you, like, what moments do you remember as like family? Or when you look back, like, do you remember vacations? Do you remember, you know, like what do you remember?
You know, I think the one thing that I remember the most, it's nothing really that has to do with my parents in a sense, but it was more like how close in a sense all of my siblings had to be to each other. Like, we were everything to each other. Like, I just remember that. Like, they were my best friends, my enemies, everything. Like, there's not a moment that of any successful moment, like any moment that I was truly happy or celebrating about something that I don't remember my siblings being a part of, man.
That's special.
Yeah.
Yo, how hard is it to get gigs, man?
It's hard. It's very hard.
Is it having a good management team?
I think that's part of it. You actually got to be good.
Sure, absolutely. Somebody could get you in the door, but you got to prove to you know.
But you know, I think the biggest thing is you never fully know. You never know. You can body a role like to the fullest extent, but if you're not what they see for that character, then you're just not what they see for that character. So it's literally just that. It's that minuscule, that simple. So it's hard because somebody can be thinking about you and you don't kill it the way that they wanted you to, so they got to go another way. Or somebody can literally not be thinking about you, and you come in and kill it, and they're like, you're not what I wanted. So it's always a crapshoot.
You know, you're acting, 90210, Wire, bunch of other things in between. Bought Mom's the House. I mean, right out the project, straight out the mud. And it's a beautiful fucking thing.
Yeah.
Now, you did mention that, you know, you love the music.
Yes.
And that you flirted around with it, so to speak, at a young age. Where the fuck do you go now all of a sudden start making music, like where you make an album that comes out? Think about it. Even, let me ask some, and I'm sure it wasn't this, Own It wasn't your first song that
No,
came
it definitely
out.
wasn't.
I mean, it's a smash.
Thank you.
You know, it's something I think that you could listen to for a very,
Forever.
very
Yeah.
long time. And you know why I remember it too? Just the words. Did you write that?
Me and Neo, yeah.
Okay. Neo is a talented motherfucker, man.
ridiculously
You know
talented.
why? I'm young right now,
Yeah.
but I won't be forever. That fucking, man, that song is powerful.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you come up with that song?
So backtrack. I met Salaam when I was
Salaam Remi.
Salaam Remi.
That motherfucker is talented as a
the
motherfucker.
God, Yoda himself. I met Salaam maybe when I was 20. And at the time when I was doing 90, I started 90210 when I was 18. So at the time when I first moved to LA, I think in my mind I was like, okay, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm gonna make the most of this. I'm gonna start doing music. Like I'm gonna start writing and producing. I got a manager music-wise while I was in LA. I got him when I was probably like 19. And he started getting me in the studio with different people to just be a session writer, to be in the booth, like just helping write and starting to get my feet wet in the studio.
Sure.
So working with like Faith Evans, with Chris Brown, and this one and that one, and whatever. Just in the studio writing with people, Tank, Warren Campbell, just getting in with people, Harold Lilly, James Fauntleroy, BJ the Chicago Kid, just literally just the kid doing 90210, going to the studio afterwards writing. So met Salaam at a BMI Awards when I was like 20. Stayed in contact. He heard I told him I was doing music, and he was just like, word? He was just a fan from The Wire, and he was just like, I want to hear some of this.
Sure.
So I started to let him hear stuff as I was getting it, and from 20 to maybe like 25, whenever I would write something that I thought was dope, I'd send it to him and just see what he'd say, and he'd give me like notes. He'd be like, okay, this is cool, maybe change this. Your writing isn't that strong on this one. This one is fire. Leave this one alone. And I came out with a project called Remember. It was like it was my very first project. There's only a few people in the world who probably have heard it. And when I sent it to him, there was a song on there that I wrote called Cold. It was written by me and my boy Juan Winings. And Salaam heard it, and he's like, yo, this is on par with anything else that's out. Like, you sound like you can compete now. Like, before, you sound like whatever.
Sure.
He's like, right now, you sound like you can compete. Let's see what you could actually do. So we kept on trying to figure out our schedules to actually get in the studio together. Life happens, and I guess after maybe like the 4th season of 90210, he's like, yo, he said, when you're finished, or it was I think it was 5th season. He said, yo, when you leave for your winter break, instead of going home, come to Miami. He said, just come out here for a couple weeks and let's write. I said, you sure? He was like, yeah, let's go. Went out there literally for 1 week, and in that 1 week, we wrote 7 records. and 5 of them made New York a Love Story. One of the records was Own It. Now, it was like, I think Own It was maybe like the first record that I recorded. Neo had the song, like Neo wrote the song. It was only the first verse and the hook, and there was nothing else on it.
And what was the hook?
Tell me where you wanna go, what you wanna do. Say we living it like we own it. So it was literally just that, and the first verse. And I remember hearing it, and Salaam was like, "Yo." He's like, I mean, I said you can compete, so let me see if you can actually get on this record and beat Neo. I was like, I don't know if I can beat him, but I'm gonna do what I can do. And went in the booth, flamed it, like killed it. Came in, he's listening to it. If you know Salaam, like when he's listening to something, he's not like a congratulatory guy. He's not gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's amazing," but he'll like, you'll know it's good because he'll do his little bop and his fingers be moving.
Sure.
Like that's how you know it's a vibe. Like his fingers be moving. Like he catches the beat in his fingers and just vibes. So I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, all right, now finish it. I was like, what do you mean finish it? He's like, finish it. Write the rest of the record. I said, after like sitting with it for like 2 days because I'm nervous as hell to fucking write a Neo record, we wrote it and finished it. And he was just like, all right, cool. Next song.
Crazy. So Salaam produced that beat?
Yeah.
That was Eric B and
Yep.
Rakim.
Mm-hmm.
Now because, man, that's a fucking amazing beat too.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to give up a lot of production? You know, what do you call that? Because of the beat, like, because it's more of a. It's not like he resampled it. So it's pretty much a.
It was and it was, but it wasn't, but it was. Cause with a lot of the production that we did for the project, the way that me and Salaam kind of, I don't want to say got away with it, but a lot of the way that we kind of got around it was we brought in the producers to actually help us remake the beat.
Sure.
So like he called Eric B to get the drums and all of that stuff. He like for Henny, like we brought in Havoc to like have us help us with the record and so on and so forth. It was like it was amazing. Even my crib, like sampling You, Me, Him, and Her. We had Bink come in to help us with that joint. Was crazy. So yeah, it was nuts, man.
Did you ever meet Eric B and Rakim?
I didn't get a chance to. I was supposed to meet him. Angie Martinez's barbecue. He was gonna come through and perform, but I was supposed to perform.
Then to Own It.
Yeah, but I didn't get a chance to meet him.
New York City, A Love Story.
Yeah,
came out how many years ago?
Now, September will make it 6 years. I think this year. Yeah, September will make it 6 years.
Why? Not that you know what. I know you're working on music now.
Mm-hmm.
Why is 6 year? Like why it took 6 years to work again? Because I mean, talent is not the fucking question.
Yeah, no. No, we actually last year we did a project as well. Last year we did After Hours. Mm-hmm. So that was my first.
No, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
I do. I remember running into you. I mean, I feel like everywhere I run into you. Like, you're like one of those dudes that's just around everywhere. You know, you like at the fucking open bar. You're at the fucking Nike party. The media day here.
I be moving around, man.
But it did. I remember that's the reason why I said it first. I remember asking you. Even then, it was a couple of years.
Yeah, it was. It was some years. I think it was a bunch of different things. It was the changing of the guards with my management, trying to find my footing back in my music, getting comfortable like with the acting and like trying to figure out how to juggle acting and music.
Sure.
And once we did After Hours and we had the Breaks and Shots Fired coming out at the same time, I think that was the moment that I was like, yo, you could really do both of these things and like do them well. So
That's right. I forgot you did the breaks too. Shouts to Dan Charnas.
Yeah, man.
Jazz Fly.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, you know what? Let's take a break. Internets, okay? If you never heard of fucking Mack Wilds, okay? You better throw on the fucking wire. Throw on 90210. Go to his Instagram. He's probably trying to, compete with Trey Songz. The one and only, the multi-talented, the chameleon in the building, Mack Wilds. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Oh, what's up? This is Heather Hunter, and you're locked into the Premium Pete Show. And yes, I'm about to get hot on the mic.
Internets, and we're back. Sitting here with the one and only Mack Wilds. Tristan Mack Wilds.
The God.
Like my son. Baby Premium.
You know.
Listen, we're speaking about acting.
Yes.
Young kid out of Staten Island. 90210. Wire.
Yeah.
Bunch of other shit. Buying moms a house.
Yeah.
Singing.
Yeah.
Neo. Salaam Remi. Listen. Okay? If you honestly think about the shit, and this is what I mean sometimes when I sit with people, you don't realize how crazy that sounds?
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Like in my almost 30 years of living, I've lived a lot of people's full lifetimes already. And it's weird. It's very, very weird. And I for even people who aren't religious, you gotta believe in something for something like this, man.
Sure.
Like this isn't human. This isn't everyday regular shit. Like this is like, it's crazy. That's the only way I can really explain it. I mean, it's God. I think that's the better way to explain it.
You know, from a young kid, you're on TV, doing all this shit. Have you had a lot of fake friends around you? Because, keep in mind, you were probably more popular, and maybe some kids were popular in the street, maybe. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but that shit don't last long.
It don't.
Was it tough to figure out, like, if you had friends that really fucked with you because they fucked with you or because they,
Nah, I think I've always been a very good judge of energy and of like I always felt vibes very quickly. So I know people to keep at arm's distance, and I know who to keep close to me. And I so far, and I pray, knock on wood, I pray I keep that same discernment throughout the rest of my life. But the people that I have around me, even now to this day, is very, very much people that I consider close to me, like people that I personally can say, yo, I love you and really mean it.
Sure.
So, and a lot of them are family. Like I've known them for God knows how many years. So I don't want to say no new friends. I'm not very Drake-ish in that mindset, but it is very much a very close circle of us.
Growing up, and we were saying this off air, I said, Dan, Mrs. Steele, your girl. I said, you compete with Trey Songz. Because, how hard has it been to be in relationships?
It's been hard, man. It's been hard, but I think the best way to explain it is there's nothing good that's not hard to get, like
Absolutely.
So I guess I'm a hopeless romantic in that mindset. With that mindset, I can fall very quickly, and I always pray for the best, even though I know it's gonna be hard. And sometimes it falls, sometimes it works, and so on and so forth.
What's the longest relationship you were in?
God, like 6 years.
God damn.
Yeah, I met a girl when I was 15, and I was with her until I was 21, 22 years old.
That's a long time. She
Yeah.
was actually with you through seeing, turning into
Tristan Mack Wilds. Yeah.
Yeah, I say that because is it hard to be successful and be in a relationship, in your opinion?
I think yes. If you it's only I'll say this, it's hard if you are constantly in your own way. You have to understand that relationships are different than anything else. A lot of times we look at relationships and we are selfish in our ways, and there's nothing fruitful that will come from your relationship, whether you're successful or not, by being selfish. A lot of times you can prolong a relationship if you're selfish, but if you're successful and you're selfish, the things that you would do to prolong your relationship, you really don't have time to do. So if you understand that to be in a relationship that grows, you have to be selfless and not necessarily expect anything else. And this is from both parties, the person who is successful and the person who isn't, I guess, in essence. You have to understand that if you want this to work, you both have to be selfless and not look for anything from the other one but love.
Amen. Man, that's going to probably get him a couple more DMs. You want a Law and Order also?
I do. I was on Law and Order.
How the fuck, what the fuck is going on here?
I feel like every New York actor
I know.
in the world, any actor in New York, it's literally a rite of passage. If you haven't done a Law and Order, we don't consider you a real actor. You haven't done a Law and Order yet? Come on, get your stamps up, bro. Come on, step your game up.
Now, how does something like that happen? Just through management?
Oh, yeah, auditions, like a part will pop up. They're like, yo, it's a guest star spot in a Law and Order. How do you feel about it? I'm like, I love it. All right, cool. Go on this audition. You go on the audition. You got to wow them, of course, and pray for the best.
I feel like, again, I called you throughout the whole episode a chameleon, and that's because you are.
Thanks, man.
And then you look at something like where a tremendous talent like Adele, right? I remember one day I may have been on YouTube. I don't know where the fuck, maybe the TV. I don't even know where. And I see you in this fucking video.
Mm-hmm.
You know what video that is?
Yeah, I know exactly what video you're talking about.
Of course you do. How the fuck does that happen? Honestly, I mean that. Like, somebody, again, people listen who don't even know who Mack Wilds are. Or some listen that know you, that want to get to know a little bit more about you. How does something like that happen?
By the grace of God and people who actually like your work, I guess. I got a call one day. It was my management. They said, there's a director who wants to talk to you. I said, a director who wants to talk to me about what? It's like about a music video. I'm like, I don't know about a music video. They were like, I think you're going to like this one. I said, all right. Who's the director? Who's the artist? The director's name is Xavier Dolan. Shout out to my boy. And they said the artist is Adele. I said, oh. Are you sure you got the right person? They said they asked for you by name. I said, okay. I'll talk to him. What's up? Got on the phone. Xavier was just like, yo, man, what's going on? Me and Adele have been looking for somebody to play this role. This is her first song back. And she's we've been trying to figure out who do we see for this character. And at first, she wanted to kind of go with somebody who had no name but I told her, like, we have to have somebody who, if you want this to be what you want it to be, we have to have somebody who can really portray the characters, who can really emote, like, give us what we want. And she's like, who do you think? He's like, and I loved you from The Wire. So I said, Tristan Wilds. And she said, oh my God, Dixon from 90210. Absolutely. And I told him, I was like, yo, let's figure out what that video is about and let me know how it could be a service. Like, let's kill this. And the rest was history. Went out to Montreal. We shot it in maybe like 2-3 days. And
was that the first time you ever met her? Mm-hmm. And what did she say?
We sat down. We talked for a minute. We kind of we shot the shit. Like, literally just talked about life. We played a couple little records from the album before anybody else got a chance to hear it, and we talked about her kid. Her kid was there. We just talked about life and what it's like growing up in this business. And then we talked about New York a little bit because I didn't know she used to live out here. The bars she used to go to and stuff like that. It was dope.
Sweet person.
Mm-hmm. But like such a sweet, genuine girl. Like she felt like a New York girl. Like, she felt like somebody who you would meet out here. She she curses, she tells jokes, she'll joke on you in a second, the whole 9 yards. Like, she's just literally a genuine person. She's so dope.
How many views didn't that you? I remember seeing that shit get.
I think we're at 2 billion now,
God motherfucker,
or something like that, something crazy.
2 billion views on YouTube. Yeah, check that. Check that shit out. Now that's Hello, right?
Yeah, Hello.
By Adele. Man, that's crazy. Now, do you ever speak to her again?
Yeah, we talk every now and then. Like, just hit her up, or her, like, I'll hit her management up, just be like, yo, how's she doing? How's the baby? Whatever. But she's she's dope, man.
You know, one thing we didn't go over is the inspiration. Growing up, you know, obviously you're an actor, you're an artist, you know, you do a bunch of shit. But who the fuck inspired you that you would, you know, because sometimes you're like, oh, I'm exactly where I want to be, and I'm inspired because I'm inspired by these people.
Yeah. I think as time progressed, I was always inspired by different things, as any artist is. When I first started, it was more like my family. You know, I in the house, it was a very creative household. Like, my dad is like an artist. Like, he paints, he draws, he builds stuff. He also sings. Like, he was one of the, him and my grandfather are the reason I sing, I guess. Because he sings, my older sister sings, my older brother draws. So it's like we all got our creativity from him. So he would probably be like one of the people who, I guess, inspired all of us at first. Then I guess as life progressed, it was my nieces and nephews. You know, there's nothing. I remember my niece when 90210 was like at peak, like probably season 2, season 3, or something like that. I remember my niece. I think she was in middle school, and she calls me. She's like, Uncle Tristan. I said, what's up? What's going on, Mama? She's like, Uncle Tristan, can you talk to my friend real fast? She doesn't believe that you're my uncle. And that feeling right there is like, all right, cool, I'm Superman now. Yeah, put her on the phone.
Yeah.
Let me talk to her. Let me tell her. Yeah, this is Mack Wilds. What's going on? I got to put the low voice on. Yo, yeah. Yeah, this is Mack Wilds. It's good to meet you. All of that. It was amazing. It's amazing.
You put the radio, the
Exactly.
old school
The
R&B.
Lenny Green.
Yeah. 98.7.
Exactly.
You know?
And I think now, especially now, like with the writing of the songs and writing scripts now and starting to direct and produce stuff and literally trying to handpick my roles, the things that inspire me the most are, I guess, literally the things that I encounter in life. Like I try to stay present in life, like as things come by, so that I don't miss them. So I don't miss the moment to be inspired by the way a girl's dressing tonight, or the vibe at a bar, or a listening session, the way that the lights are dim, or like the colors that they use. I literally try to like pull in everything that life constantly throws at us, instead of just bypassing it as we all do, just kind of just going every day, just keep going. I try to make it a point every time to kind of stop and really breathe in what I see and when I'm around. So life.
Absolutely. When you're on a road, you know, like you are, it's a marathon, it ain't a sprint.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you ever come across some people where you're like, holy shit, man, my life is crazy. You ever have any moments or met people that you grew up like, you know, that you never thought you would meet?
Yes, all the time, man. I still remember the first time when I first signed to Roc Nation and going up into Jay's office and just sitting, like he was talking to Lenny and Shaka. They brought me upstairs. They were like, yo, we're about to sign papers with Mac. They were like, he said, word? He's like, you coming to the Roc? I was like, yeah, I'm about to. He's like, all right. He's like, we, like for what? You acting? I was like, she's like, no, it's music. He said, word? I said, yeah. He said, it don't suck, right? I said, nah, my shit is fire. He said, all right. Like, I want to hear it. As soon as y'all get it, I want to send it to me. I said, all right, cool. But just like meeting him, meeting Spike Lee for the first time, Jeffrey Wright, like these guys that I watch and I idolize, or it's crazy. That just like you said, it's crazy. Like, these are guys that I remember being a kid watching. Denzel Washington, Will Smith. Yo, meeting Will Smith was like.
Where did you meet him?
I met Will out on the red carpet for Secret Life of Bees, when I shot Secret Life of Bees, because Overbrook, his company, they produced Secret Life of Bees. So I remember we're on the red carpet. Nobody told us that him and Jada were gonna. Nobody told us that they were gonna come. So we're on the red carpet, and I'm sitting. I'm taking a picture with Queen Latifah. We're on the carpet, and then I see Jada walk through, and she jumps in the picture. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. It's Jada Pinkett. I'm trying not to spaz out, but all right, let me keep it cool. Got cameras flashing and shit. All right, cool. Take the picture. And then I feel a tap on my shoulder. He's like, hey, you got room for one more? I'm like, oh shit. The Fresh Prince is in the building, guys. The Fresh Prince is here. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. And we took pictures, man, and he pulled me to the side afterwards, and he was just like, yo, I watched it. You killed it. He's like, yo, thank you. Thank you for what you did. I was like, no, thank you for the opportunity. And then he sent me a letter like a week later, a handwritten letter. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is nuts.
That's crazy, man. Yo, there's ever been a role that you auditioned for that you didn't get, that kind of like haunts you, or you're like, fuck, I wish I would have got that?
I try not to live with regrets, but I guess one role that I wish I would have been able to really sink my teeth into was, and my boy got it, so I'm not mad at all, was Barry Jenkins' last movie, If Beale Street Could Talk. I wanted to. That was one of my favorite books growing up. So to play the role that my boy Stephen James got of Fonny, that would have been. I would have had fun with that.
So as we wind down, your career, like I said, is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
What are you working on today?
Always looking for the next role. Actually, I have the next role in my pocket, but we don't. We haven't signed all the dotted lines yet that I could talk about it.
Is it a movie? Is it a series?
It's a series.
Okay, nice.
And I'll tell you off air. I just thought about it, and I'm producing it too.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of the role that I've wanted to play since I was 16 years old. So we have that. I'm starting to produce my own content and direct my own stuff. So we have a lot of like short films and stuff that are coming up this year. More music. Probably dropping a lot of music this year, starting probably in like February or March. So we got that coming.
Is there people that on your wish list that you want to make music with?
Man, that's a lot, man. I'm all about just figuring out dope sounds and dope people to make it with. Like whether it's Jay-Z, J. Cole, and Drake, or Adele and James Blake or Pharrell. The list goes on and on. Diplo. Like there's mad people. But
when's the first time you met Pharrell?
First time I met Pharrell, I was 16, running around with D and Ricky. And
Shouts to D and Ricky.
Shout out to D and Ricky. And they brought me up to the BBC office, and he just happened to be right about to leave. And I still am, the biggest Pharrell fan. Biggest. Ridiculous. Between him and Kanye, you couldn't tell me nothing. No pun intended. But yeah, man, that was my first time meeting him, and he didn't know who I was. I was just a kid with a fedora hat on and a D and Ricky t-shirt under a vest. And yeah, he was the god, man. The god.
Still is, and he still
is.
It's crazy how young he looks, man.
Still.
It's crazy. You know, Alicia Keys. You know, you've done a bunch. I mean, you've done it with so many people. It's crazy. But I feel like sometimes people don't remember everything.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know? You remember the first time meeting Alicia Keys?
I think my first time meeting Alicia Keys. My first official time meeting Alicia Keys, because the one time that I've seen her, and she shook my hand, I was 13, and my mom was when my mom worked for Smith Barney. Underneath her building was where they used to do the Today Show concerts. So Alicia did a concert there, and she was walking through the crowd, and she seen me, and she shook my hand. Crazy. So that was the first time that I met her. But I think the first time that I officially met her was on the set of The Secret Life of Bees. Yeah.
That must have been some set. How was the craft services on that set?
Amazing.
Man?
It was amazing. We're in the South. It was like all of your mother's best food. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
You know, one thing that I admire about you is that you're a calm, cool, collective guy.
Thank you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure if you get upset, you get pissed off.
Of course.
You know, you can put somebody in the trunk. But you're in both businesses.
Yeah.
The music business and the actor business.
Yeah.
Or we call it the movie or TV business,
film,
whatever the fuck it's called, film. Is there a difference of shadiness? Because you know how many people say how the music business is shady, people are phony. Is it the same thing in that?
It's it is, but it isn't. It's it's just a different type of shade. Like it's all kind of weird and shady. The only reason why the film business can't do the same thing that the music business does is because of different guilds and things of that nature. But ultimately, they still find ways to throw shade, and you just got to be aware of it.
Yeah. You got a business manager?
I do.
Why should people get a business manager?
Oh my God, no. You'll blow your money on one crazy weekend in Vegas.
That's what I'm saying. Most people, you know what's crazy, man? Most people are afraid to get something, but then upset when they lose something.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like I always ask people that because even I remember at my worst days, my best days, I always check. I know exactly what I have. And it's not only about money because, you know, I got a family.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
of course.
But I just, you know, and it's funny because, you know, you don't get frugal, I feel like, sometimes until you get older. Everybody's different.
It's true.
But you learn a little bit more, you know? Like, I give an example. When I grew up, the way we grew up in Brooklyn, it was all flash, man.
Yeah.
We looked good when we weren't really good. You know? I remember people used to make fun of my man. He had a white tee. He had a stain on it all the time. And they used to be like, richest dude, though. But people looked for somebody to have probably something looking more flashy.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So a business manager sometimes, you know, and I talk to a lot of people about this, but it's like you put it perfectly. Like, you'll blow all your money in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know?
In a weekend.
Yeah.
Go home and try to figure out what you don't do now. I don't ever want to be in that place where I got to figure out what I'm going to do now. So, yeah, shout out to my business manager, man. Shout out to Lou.
Big Lou from the group home.
Exactly.
Yeah, Big Lou from the group home. Yeah. But even credit, right? Did you learn that at an early age?
I didn't, and that was a problem, man. Like, I wish I would have learned that earlier, like 90210 days. But you know, thank God I've gotten on it now. You know, ain't no time like the present. So it's definitely something very, very important that I implore everyone to venture out and find out more about and actually get your credit together. Because America doesn't run on money; it runs on credit.
You know, somebody listened to this, you know, maybe just wanting to learn more about how to break into the film industry, or maybe stuck, or maybe just has a dream, or to be honest with you, is exactly like you, kid from the projects that made it out, bought his mama a home, changed his life around, became a Renaissance man, so to speak.
Thanks, man.
What's some advice you would give somebody that felt like, you know, like they stuck or they have dreams or hopes of trying to get into these businesses?
You know what, man? We're in a very fortunate time. We're in the day and age of the creative. This is a time where literally you can make everything that you need to create, to make something tangible. The same way that Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, or even Quincy Jones, all of these guys, everything that we had, like everything that the technology that they had to create what the things that they created right now is literally at our fingertips every single day. It's on our phones. We have apps to make beats. You have apps to record music. You have apps to write scripts. You have apps, like there's literally everything that you need right now at your fingertips. So this is the day and age of the creative. You have no excuse. Your biggest asset is your brain, your imagination, your creativity. So as of right now, what I would say to you is, don't wait for somebody. Don't wait for any one thing. Go out, make something, do something, create it, push it out. Even if you're showing your friends, if you really think about it, if you just show your friends, 7 people see it. Those 7 people will show 7 other people. Now you have 49 people.
Oh, 7 times 7.
Yeah.
There we go. Now you almost caught me on the times table, man.
Yeah, you got 49 people that are watching your stuff that fast, and then they start breaking it down more and more and more. It gets crazy. So your biggest asset your biggest asset is your creativity, your mind, and you can't sit on your hands. And even all of those moments that you feel like you can't do it or you can't go any further, keep fucking going. Don't stop, because the moment that you stop, the only thing you're doing is allowing somebody else to get further than you. And it's not a race. Again, it's not a race. It's not a sprint. Just because this person is here, don't compare yourself to this person. Like, just keep going. Run your race.
What books you reading?
I'm right now. It's funny you asked. Right now, I started rereading the autobiography of Malcolm X.
It's crazy.
I literally just started it back up like 2 days ago.
Any other suggestions?
Suggestions of books. The Alchemist, one of my favorite books ever. I probably read that book once every 5 years. And you always catch something different in it. It's ridiculous. Alchemist, The Tipping Point, Purple Cow.
Purple Cow's official.
Yeah, Purple Cow's official.
That's enough books. That's enough books to read to get your mind right. Mm-hmm. Lastly, any investments, any kind of like advice you have on something that you feel works for you to have somebody? Because I feel like a lot of people want to try to make extra money, don't even know how. You know, not saying that you may not be the one to give it them that.
Right.
You know,
investments.
you fuck with cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency is cool. I think it's
almost
tricky.
outdated.
I wouldn't even say it's outdated. It's very trendy. So I'm interested to see what happens to it in the future. But yeah, man, I think as it comes to stocks and everything right now, it looks like all of the stocks are going down. So I would say start putting your money into things right now, because once it goes back up in a big way. Sure. So even though it looks like all of the Dows are going down, start spending your money on these stocks while they're down, so that when they go up, your money go up.
On Instagram and Twitter, at Mack Wilds.
Yes, sir.
MACK
WILDS.
Listen, let me tell you something. You're still young.
Thank you, man.
You've done so much.
Yes, sir.
You're a great dude. You know, I'm glad we finally got a chance to sit down, because honestly, the world needs more people like you. And what I mean by that is to look at, to be inspired by, to really understand that you can't be put in a box.
Yeah, nah.
And anything you want to try to do, you know,
you could do it.
That's it. Because one day you're gonna die.
Yeah.
What are you worried about other people for? Fuck are we doing here?
I'm telling you.
Internet, the one and only Tristan Mack Wilds. Peace, brother.
Peace.
Internets, if you enjoyed that episode, then hit me up. That's right. Email me at thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. Again, that's thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. If you're an advertiser, any big company, small company, startup, whatever it is, you want to advertise on the Premium Peep Show, hit me up. Email thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. And we'll get to working. Okay? And if you have a suggestion or you want to hear a certain guest on the show, whatever it is, okay? You know, you could at Premium Pete Show on Twitter or Instagram. Or for the last time, I'll tell you, well, I'm not going to, it's not the last time. Email me, thepremiumpeachshow@gmail.com. And let's get to working. Cheer.